Hello. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit different. I had this idea during my Avril series. Y'all expressed some interest in it, and I want to see how it goes. So we are going to go through the winners of the Kids' Choice Awards in the year of our Lord, 2012. I'm going to tell you what the winners were up to in this year, kind of a highlights reel of the tea, which is kind of fun. And if you want to make this into a kind of game, I will tell you the nominees before we go to each category, so you can give a guess at who you think won each category. And I chose 2012 just because my friends and I felt that it was a particularly iconic year, but we can do more if we want to, if we enjoy this. There were a lot of contenders. So, first category, favorite voice from an animated movie. And the nominees were Johnny Depp for Rango, Katy Perry for The Smurfs, Jack Black for Kung Fu Panda 2, Antonio Banderas for Puss in Boots. If you want to make a guess, make it now. And the winner was Katy Perry as Smurfette in the Smurfs movie. And Kids' Choice Awards was at the end of March, so we're going March 2011 to March 2012. And here she is in her Smurfs outfit at the premiere. So first of all, in 2011, Katy released the music videos for Last Friday Night and also for The One That Got Away. This really was a great year for her music-wise. Those are some absolute bops. I mean, this was an iconic music video. I will say though, side note, both of those songs were made with Dr. Luke. We know how I feel about him. I have a whole series on Dr. Luke and the Kesha drama if you want to watch that. Katy was also on her California Dreams tour for most of 2011, and she was married to Russell Brand, star of one of my favorite movies, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, until December 30th of 2011. They were married for a little over a year when Russell filed for divorce, and he said at the time, "I'll always adore her and I know we'll remain friends." But of course, that was a press statement, and Katy later said that he texted me saying he was divorcing me December 31st, 2011, and that she hadn't heard from him since. He had a documentary later on, and there was a clip of him in it saying, "We were going in different directions, possibly opposite directions," and he also had a clip of her in it where she said to him, "I think you're a genius and you make me look good, and that's why I picked you." And her Wikipedia page phrases his reasoning as due to her commercial success and reluctance to engage in activism, which is very interesting. Katy said that he had started making jokes about her that she didn't really like. She wasn't very specific on them. Maybe somebody remembers what the jokes were around that time. If you do, please comment them. I would love to know. But she also said that basically he didn't really like her being an equal in terms of work and success. Or at least that's how she saw it. But then she said that she found out the real truth and was like, "This isn't because of me, this is beyond me." The real truth? She's leaving us on that note of intrigue? Okay. So great. We'll never know the answer because it's not like she's going to talk about it now. It's been years. So that will be something that I think about when I can't sleep at night, for sure. In January of 2012, we found out that she had a 3D movie coming out. I wish I still had the photo of me at this movie wearing the 3D glasses with the red ones with the little bow, because I was so into Katy Perry at this time, and this movie was everything to me. It really was. And we got a real inside look at her marriage with Russell actually falling apart during this movie. And she talked about in the movie and in interviews afterwards that, yeah, she was super freaking busy. I mean, she's Katy Perry, obviously. But that she was trying her hardest to make it work, even though they both had really busy schedules, to have them visit each other, to see each other as much as possible. But she claimed that he didn't really want to make as much of an effort on that. And she also said that he didn't like the atmosphere of her being the boss on tour. You can absolutely tell, though, during the movie that she is having a really rough time with it. She breaks down. I remember it so incredibly vividly. It was like really made an impact on me at the time because I was kind of young. Very hard to watch, honestly, somebody's like marriage falling apart and all of their emotions on that. But she also did say that during that time, she actually contemplated ending it all, if you know what I mean. Which is just heartbreaking. So glad she didn't. Please don't ever do that, anybody. But yeah. February 12th of 2012 was the Grammys, and Katy performed. And she actually performed a brand new song that was called Part of Me. And of course, this was supposedly about Russell Brand, which how could it not be if she wrote it, which she did indeed write it with other people, including, again, Dr. Luke. See my Kesha series. And here are some choice lyrics for your analysis. You chewed me up and spit me out like I was poison in your mouth. You took my light, you drained me down. You ripped me off, your love was cheap. So you can keep the diamond ring, it don't mean nothing anyway. In fact, you can keep everything except me. I honestly did not remember that song being that damn sad. I really didn't, because you can't really tell because it's like a pump up tune. If you really listen to the lyrics though, extremely sad. That makes me just hurt for her. It really does. And this man, they look alike. Okay, now I'm going to let you guess a couple of categories that we're not going to go over. So this is just for fun. The first category is favorite animated movie. And the nominees were Kung Fu Panda 2, Puss in Boots, Cars 2, and Rio. Any guesses of who's won? Give them now. It was Puss in Boots. I didn't even watch this movie, honestly. And the next category was favorite movie. And the nominees were The Muppets, The Smurfs, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Give your guess. Who do you think won? It was Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked. It wasn't Harry Potter. I feel that they were wronged in that way. I feel they deserve every award possible. But, you know, more power to the Chipmunks. Okay. This is your last guess for this video. Comment it because we're going to go to the next video to talk about them. And we are talking about this one. And also comment because I want some damn engagement. I deserve some damn engagement for the hours I put in on this. And also I really want to know who y'all will think would have won. And I'll tell you who I think would have won. So, favorite movie actor. Our nominees are Jim Carrey for Mr. Popper's Penguins, Johnny Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean, Daniel Radcliffe for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and Adam Sandler for Jack and Jill. I personally obviously would have guessed Daniel Radcliffe. I'm in love with him. And I'm going to assume that you did not guess Adam Sandler for winning favorite movie actor for this year, but he did indeed. He won it for Jack and Jill. So we're going to briefly talk about what he was up to in 2011, 2012, because there actually was a little bit of stuff going on for him. I know that we would think he's just living a chill life, but he had a couple things going for him. First of all, June 28th of 2011, he won a copyright case for his movie Zohan. He had been sued by this comic book writer who in their comic book used a blow dryer as a weapon, and they claimed that that was their intellectual property and Zohan was copying him. But they decided that that is not something that can be copyrighted. The thing is, you can't really classify a lot of stuff these days as your own work because, sociology major here, pretty much everything is a copy of a copy these days. Anything that is factual, for example, like these series that I make, nobody can copy me on these. They're facts. We can't copy them. You could steal my jokes. If it was word for word, maybe I'd notice, but honestly, it's too easy to come up with most of the jokes that we make to say that it was yours and somebody else stole it. And similarly, there are tons of things that are just too general or too easy to come up with, like using a blow dryer as a weapon, to really be considered your work or copyable. Sorry, coming from a family of a lot of legal people, sociology background, I work part-time at a law firm, and you see a lot of stuff about defamation, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We can talk about that on another day, about copying and stuff like that. It's hard to not get a little bit frustrated because people don't really seem to know what actually the law says and what actually can be proven and not proven. So, whatever. I have feelings. Anyways, back to Mr. Adam Sandler. February 26th of 2012, although he did win the Kids' Choice Awards, he was also nominated for some raspberries. And not only was he nominated for some raspberries, he beat a record for most nominations for this here movie. He was nominated 11 times that year for raspberries. Good thing the kids were in control for this series. Okay, time to guess the next category. It is favorite movie actress. And your nominees are Amy Adams for The Muppets, Sofia Vergara for The Smurfs, Kristen Stewart for Twilight, Breaking Dawn Part 1, and Emma Watson for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And the winner of Favorite Movie Actress was Kristen Stewart for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. Part 1, not Part 2. It hadn't come out yet. And here she is finding out that she's pregnant. Anyways, let's talk about her drama in the year of 2011 to 2012. April 19th of 2011, people caught Kristen and Robert Pattinson kissing. People had been convinced that they were dating for quite a while, but we never had evidence, hardcore evidence, until this. And of course, we still got on and off rumors about it, and they didn't actually issue a statement of confirmation, but that is all the confirmation that I need to see. Actions speak louder than words, okay? The director of Twilight, though, had said that Kristen felt connected to Rob from the first moment and called it love at first sight. Bring yourself back into your 2011 mindset, please, and just imagine how we all reacted to that statement. My heart, the fireworks, the just pure emotion. It just makes watching the movies so much of a richer experience, which is, by the way, obviously why we have PR relationships too. But this was not PR, and I will never, ever let anyone say differently. October 5th of 2011, Kristen was interviewed about her upcoming movie Snow White and the Huntsman that she was about to start filming for. And she was filming in the UK, and she said that she wanted to explore more of the UK because her boyfriend is English. This boyfriend? And the next day she said, I never would have said that if I knew you were interviewing me, but she also pointed out that it was so obvious, which it really was at that point. Look at these two. You're telling me these two aren't together? That lean-in, that is so precious. She is feeling safe. He is feeling on top of the world. However, as I said, she started filming Snow White and the Huntsman that month. And while filming, she ended up having an affair with the director, Rupert Sanders, who was married with children at the time. Rupert called it a momentary lapse, and I think that they both regretted it. His wife ended up banning him from ever working with her again, so she was not in any sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman. And Rob left Kristen and their house together. And there he is. There's a little dog in the passenger seat. This is just so sad. And where did he leave for? He went to stay with Reese Witherspoon and her family. How freaking cute. Also, can you imagine being Reese Witherspoon's daughter and freaking Robert Pattinson comes and stays with you? Foreign exchange student dream. Sorry, I had a first TV award was favorite TV show, and the nominees were Victorious, Good Luck Charlie, iCarly, Wizards of Waverly Place. Take your guesses now. And the winner was Victorious. As you can see, they were pretty pumped. And I'll tell you a little bit about what was going on with two members of the cast, Victoria Justice and Ariana Grande. That's really all that there was reported on during that year. So first of all, March 12th of 2011, Beggin' on Your Knees premiered, which, what a jam. And in July of 2011, Victoria was dating a guy called Ryan Rotman. He was 28 at the time and she was 18. Ew. And to make things worse, he got a DUI in 2011. He apparently was driving somewhere and went over a curb, and he smelled like booze, so he needed to go to jail for a little. Meanwhile, Victoria had a movie premiere that March of 2011, Fun Size. It's a kids movie. It's a Nickelodeon movie. Meanwhile, her 28-year-old boyfriend is getting DUIs. Same year. In December of 2011, December 20th, Ariana Grande put out her first single outside of Victorious. It was called Put Your Hearts Up. But she supposedly actually hated this song and said that it had too much of a kiddie feel to it, which, fair. I mean, she was on a kids show at the time, so of course that's what they pushed to her, but good for her for making her way out of that. And she had been working on being a part of the music industry pretty much the entire time that she was on Victorious. Like, that's what she saw herself doing, and Victorious was just kind of a stepping stone towards that. But I do remember this album cover vividly, and I still think it's really pretty. Now, the next award was Favorite TV Actor, and the nominees were Tim Allen for Last Man Standing, Ty Burrell for Modern Family, Alex Hartman for Power Rangers Samurai, and Jake Short for Ant Farm. Take your guesses. I really don't even know who the majority of these people are, but take your guesses. It was this guy, Jake Short from Ant Farm. We're not going to talk about him because I have nothing to say about him. We're moving on though. Favorite TV actress nominees were Bridget Mendler for Good Luck Charlie, Victoria Justice for Victorious, Selena Gomez for Wizards of Waverly Place, and Miranda Cosgrove for iCarly. So, Selena Gomez won Favorite TV Actress at the Kids' Choice Awards in 2012. So let's talk about what she was up to in 2011-2012. On March 1st of 2011, she went to dinner with her boyfriend Justin Bieber at the time, and I have a whole series on Justin and Selena if you want to watch it. It's on my page. And this was Justin's 17th birthday, by the way. Crazy. Anyways, these pictures came out of them leaving dinner, and people noticed that there was like a red spot on Selena's face. The conclusion that they decided to come to from this was that she had been punched in the face by one of Justin's fans. Of course. That's the first logical conclusion, is it not? However, this turned out to be a fake rumor, much to the dismay of the Beliebers who actively hated her guts at the time for stealing their man. Their collective man. Shortly after that, on March 22nd, Selena went back on Ellen, where she basically had to eat crow and admit that Justin was not, in fact, like a little brother to her. And then, only a couple months later, we get photos of them in Hawaii together on vacation. And if you've seen my Justin and Selena series, you know they were quite affectionate in these photos. It was an iconic cultural moment for me as a child. And I did add clothes onto them for this photo. Sensitive eyes, sensitive app. But yeah, they were all over each other, like making out, straddling each other in the water. It was a lot. It was a lot for all of us, I think. Beliebers in particular. My heart goes out to you at that difficult time. In June of 2011, Selena was hospitalized, and she said that this was because she was malnourished and low on iron. Of course, there were rumors that it had to do with substances. There were rumors that it had to do with pregnancy, which was not real. And we didn't know at the time, I don't think, but she also had lupus. So it may well have had something to do with that, and she just hadn't shared that yet. But I don't know. And then on June 28th of 2011, Selena released her album, When the Sun Goes Down. This album is chock full of jams. Love You Like a Love Song, Hit the Lights, Who Says, A Year Without Rain, and my personal favorite, Bang Bang Bang. I don't want to hear it. I love that song. That is one of my favorite songs. It pumps me up all the time. So July 1st of 2011, her movie Monte Carlo came out with Leighton Meester. Such a good throwback movie. I might have to watch this soon, honestly. I think it's pretty good. September 23rd of 2011, Selena and Justin had their romantic date where he rented out the Staples Center for her. This is not a picture from that date, but we don't have any pictures of that, obviously, because it was private. But November 4th, 2011 is when rumors started coming out that Selena and Justin had broken up, and specifically that Selena had broken up with him over his potential love child with Mariah Yeater. However, we did discover later that there was no love child. The rumors were false that they had even broken up, just the rumor mill as usual. There was always a rumor mill around Justin and Selena.
On January 6th of 2012 was the series finale for Wizards of Waverly Place. Rest in peace. Alex Russo really was a style inspiration for so many of us at that time. Not a great one in hindsight. I mean, let's just observe all of the pieces of this outfit. But, you know, she was one. There's no debating that. And lastly, in February of 2012, we got the amazing, iconic, homemade Call Me Maybe music video where Justin and Selena get so close to kissing, and Ashley Tisdale and some members of Big Time Rush are also in it. And again, this was another major moment in my childhood. It meant so much to me. It meant so much.
Okay, next category is favorite TV sidekick, and the nominees were Jeanette McCurdy for iCarly, Jerry Trainer for iCarly, Nathan Kress for iCarly, and Jennifer Stone for Wizards of Waverly Place. Jeanette McCurdy won the award for favorite sidekick on TV. And let's discuss what she was up to in 2011 to 2012. First of all, June 11th of 2011, she put out an article with the Wall Street Journal, which was titled, "Off Camera, My Mom's Fight with Cancer." As you can imagine, this was about her mother's breast cancer diagnosis, which she had successfully battled, but which had recently returned and had spread all over her body. And as you can imagine, this was an incredibly difficult time for Jeanette. She has been extremely open about this. And she has also been very open about her battle with an ED, as well as alcohol issues during this time as well. And I definitely recommend searching around, seeing more about her story, about dealing with these issues. It definitely gives you an inside look at the industry and the kind of toxic environments around eating and body image that are there. February 8th of 2012, she released her first EP, and I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I don't remember this at all. But I'm sure it was fantastic. Now, we have 2 more TV categories that we're not gonna talk about, but I am gonna let you guess them. So, favorite reality show. The contestants were America's Got Talent, America's Funniest Home Videos, American Idol, and Wipeout. Take your guess. And Wipeout won. I personally never really watched Wipeout, but I always desperately wanted to be on Wipeout. That was Prino's job, so that dream's dead. But I did really, really want to be on it. And the last category in TV was favorite cartoon, and the nominees were Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness, Phineas and Ferb, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, and SpongeBob SquarePants. And the winner was SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know if they've ever lost the Kids' Choice Awards. They win every year, I swear to God. I swear they do. And they deserve it. They deserve it. Anyways, this video is going to be slightly shorter, but I'm going to give you one last guess so we move on to the next one and we do our whole video on the next one. And we're moving on to music. So, favorite music group is the first category. And the nominees were Big Time Rush, Lady Antebellum, LMFAO, and the Black Eyed Peas. So leave your guess in the comments and we'll talk about them in the next one. All right, Kids' Choice Awards 2012, and guess who wins? Big Time Rush, favorite music group. Would I personally have voted for them? No, I would have voted for the Black Eyed Peas, duh. But the kids spoke, okay? And when the kids speak, we have to listen. So let's talk about what they were up to in 2011 and 2012. First of all, November of 2011, they released their album Elevate. They did have some controversy though over one song on this album, No Idea, which was actually an All Time Low cover. I just have to say that I was front row at All Time Low's concert and I did bawl my eyes out. Something to be proud of? I don't know, but it's true. Anyways, people thought that they had stolen the song without All Time Low's permission, but it turned out to be just an innocent cover. Alex, the lead singer of All Time Low, had also said something about Big Time Rush, which people felt was condescending. I couldn't find the original statement, so I don't know exactly what he said, but he did have to issue an apology for that. But he said that everything was okay, that they did ask him for permission, and that he likes them. He loves Big Time Rush. And I don't know if that meant that they were friends, but honestly, you never know in the industry because people can be making music like Big Time Rush and still be completely normal people and be friends with people like All Time Low who are making just complete opposite music, but they might have the same personality behind closed doors. You have no idea. Anyways, March 8th of 2012, Big Time Rush released their own movie, Big Time Movie, and they described it as James Bond meets Austin Powers, but of course, also Big Time Rush style. They were also on tour with One Direction at this time, and they said that they were all really good friends. I mean, obviously that could be a lie, but they're friends with All Time Low, they're friends with One Direction, they're Big Time Rush, all different genres, all friends. It really warms my heart, it does. Other than that, though, we didn't really have much from these boys, except there was some rumors that Logan was dating Demi Lovato in March of 2012, but nothing was ever confirmed. I'm pretty sure they weren't dating, but who knows? Now, the nominees for favorite female singer were Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Selena Gomez, and Taylor Swift. Take your guesses at who won. It was Miss Selena Gomez. And obviously we already talked about her, so we're moving on to male singer, and this will be tomorrow. But cast your vote in the comments. The nominees were Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, Usher, and Toby Keith. And it was Justin Bieber, which most of y'all guessed. How could it not be? And obviously we already covered some of his stuff with Selena, so I'll fill you in on anything else you missed from Justin in 2011, 2012. Now, this is just a picture from a random concert of him doing his One Less Lonely Girl, which we all aspired to be. Even I, who was not a believer, was pretty convinced that if I were to go to a concert, I would definitely be picked. Spoiler alert, I would not have. I was deep in an emo phase. He would have been frightened to put me on stage. But on April 29th of 2011, he got egged at a concert in Australia. He did actually manage to dodge the eggs though. Good job, Justin. But nevertheless, the intent was there. And it ended up being a 17-year-old who had done it, and he did get arrested for that. Don't egg Justin Bieber and think you're gonna get away with it, because you won't, punk. On November 1st of 2011, Justin released his Christmas album. I know that all of us remember this vividly. The most popular song, of course, was Mistletoe. How could we forget Mistletoe? Come on. And I find celebrity Christmas albums specifically very interesting just because some celebrities' songs become like staples. For example, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And some of them completely crash and burn. You never hear them again. And it seems like there's really no in between. And I would love to know like what makes it a staple as far as what's going on in society at the time, who the artist is, what the song is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a formula to it. I just don't know what that is. Mistletoe, however, I feel has become a staple song, at least for people my age. I feel like it's a staple. So on November 1st of 2011, a woman named Mariah Yeater claimed that Justin Bieber was the father of her child. And Mariah claimed that they had met at one of his concerts in October of 2010 and that they had hooked up backstage, but Justin completely denied it and said that everything that she was saying was a complete lie. And he also said that he didn't even know her. And she was suing him for child support, but she dropped that lawsuit only 2 weeks later on November 16th of 2011. First, a security guard of Justin's came forward and said that he was with Justin the night that she claimed that they hooked up, and that he saw Justin the entire night, and the entire night he was in his dressing room with his family, and he never saw anybody like Mariah. Her ex also came forward from prison to say that she was lying. And just to add on to that, Justin said that he would take a paternity test to prove that she was lying and that he would countersue her for a false claim if she was. So at that point, that was enough for her to pack it up and accept defeat. Honestly, I don't know how she saw this going for her, considering that DNA tests were so readily available already. It was obvious that it could have just been cleared pretty much immediately, but I guess she was banking on them not really doing their due diligence. Not gonna happen. Not with Justin Bieber, it's not. And the legal issues continue. Because February 24th of 2012, Justin's team sent a cease and desist to an app that was using his name and likeness. And this app was Justin Bieber. That's right. I can't make this up. Justin Bieber. And they took this very seriously because jousting beavers is incredibly serious. That is an incredibly serious matter. This app was 99 cents. This beaver, using Justin's image and likeness, was jousting others on a river. That's serious. Don't laugh. Anyways, I just could not get enough of this Justin Bieber. I wish it still existed. Obviously it doesn't, because they got the cease and desist. But I mean, how great. So on March 12th, 2012, Justin had the funny little, silly little idea to tweet out a phone number, just missing one digit, and tell his fans to go ahead and give him a call on that phone number, missing one digit. So pretty easy to try all of the different options for what that phone number could be. And of course, a lot of them did, as you can imagine. So at that point, two Texans got pretty angry because there were just a plethora of 13-year-olds calling them, foaming at the mouths for Justin Bieber, and they were not Justin Bieber, so hard to deal with. And they apparently wanted from Justin for him to either give them financial compensation, tickets to see him in concert, or an endorsement from Justin for an upcoming online project that one of them was doing. And you know, if I were in their shoes, I do think that I would probably find it extremely funny, like the first 5 calls, and then it would get pretty old after that. I totally get it. I don't know what I would ask for though, as far as an apology present. Like, what would I want if I could ask Justin Bieber for one thing? I truly don't know. Please leave ideas in the comments just in case Justin ever wrongs me in some way. I'd love to know what I should ask for. Then, March 26th of 2012, Justin released his single, Boyfriend. And this song hit it big time, just like all of Justin's songs, honestly. But this one, it hit big time. It really did. Okay, we're moving on to the next category. The next category is favorite song. We're not going to talk about the winner of this category, but I will let you guess it. Our nominees for favorite song were Born This Way by Lady Gaga, Firework by Katy Perry, Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO, and Sparks Fly by Taylor Swift. Give your guesses. And the winner was Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO. Yep, it was a jam. It really was. Can't deny that. I especially usually listen to this song when I do power hours before I go out. If you haven't done a power hour, you definitely should look it up on YouTube. But I do early 2000s power hours sometimes, and this one is usually on there, and it's such a bop. And for the next video, comment your guess for favorite female athlete, and our nominees are Danica Patrick, Kelly Clark, Serena Williams, and Venus Williams. Favorite female athlete went to Danica Patrick. So let's talk about her 2011-2012. Although I will say the athlete categories are going to be short just because I'm not really a sports person. We're not here to talk about sports, but we'll do a brief little overview. As you can see, she was dating Aaron Rodgers at the time. And the one bit of news that I found from around this time about her was mainly that she was having to constantly tell people that she was not a sex symbol just because she was a good-looking person. Tale as old as time, am I right? Now I will let you guess for the favorite male athlete. The nominees were Derek Jeter, Michael Phelps, Shaun White, and Tim Tebow. Go ahead and make your guesses. And the winner was Tim Tebow. Again, we're not going into sports, but he had a couple small pieces as well. One was about an SNL skit that was controversial because Jason Sudeikis played Jesus in it, and some people found that offensive. Side note, I love Jason Sudeikis. Can't get enough of him. Love him to death. And the other piece of news said that he was interested in Diana Agron. However, at the time, she was dating Sebastian Stan. What a throwback. Diana Agron and Sebastian Stan dated, and apparently she remained faithful even though Tim was telling her that he's smitten with her. Tea. Okay, now we are going to guess for the favorite video game of 2012. The nominees were Just Dance 3, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, Mario Kart 7, and Super Mario Galaxy. So take your guesses. And the winner was Just Dance 3. This is honestly a phenomenal game. I cannot disagree with the kids on this one. And for the category of favorite book, we're also guessing, obviously we're not talking about these, but it's really fun and it's a good throwback, okay? There's no denying that. Nominees for favorite book were Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Harry Potter series, Hunger Games series, and Twilight series. Give your guess as to who you think won. There's a lot of good ones in here. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It won against Hunger Games, Harry Potter, and Twilight. We see now in 2022 what has stood the test of time. But you know what? They were just kids in the year of 2012. Who can blame them? They made a mistake, okay? It's okay. Now for the next video, comment your guess as to who won the award for favorite butt kicker. The nominees for favorite butt kicker were Jessica Alba, Kelly Kelly, Taylor Lautner, and Tom Cruise. In the beautiful, wonderful year of 2012, favorite butt kicker at the Kids' Choice Awards went to Taylor Lautner. I am honestly not really sure what favorite butt kicker refers to, but I will take any opportunity to talk about Mr. Loca over here. So first of all, April 8th of 2011, he was spotted on a date with Lily Collins. They were filming a movie together, so this could just be a good old PR relationship, but regardless, they were dating. And not too long later, in September of 2011, they broke up. They had a very quiet relationship. And supposedly this breakup was a clean break that Taylor initiated. Now that happened at the beginning of September, but on September 23rd, his movie Abduction, the movie with Lily Collins, was released. This movie was lost to time, but honestly, I have vivid memories of it. And again, yes, they had just broken up, and it was said that it was incredibly uncomfortable at the premiere and that they barely said a word to one another. That makes sense. November 18th of 2011, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 was released. And of course, we all remember that in this movie he imprints on Renesmee, which is and always will be incredibly weird. And it does seem like from interviews that he gave that he also found it pretty uncomfortable. I just had to explain that to my boyfriend off camera, by the way, and his reaction was truly priceless. It's alarming, it really is. Now, the day after Christmas 2011, December 26th, a People magazine cover came out. Pun intended. And this was circulating around the internet. And I'll just show you the cover. It had a picture of Taylor and the caption was "Out and Proud," and basically it was supposedly him coming out of the closet. But as you can see, it was a fake. And of course, it's super annoying that somebody decided to circulate this around the internet saying that he was coming out. If a person wants to come out in a public way, that's awesome, more power to them, but not everyone does, and circulating something like this around, even if it turns out to be fake, forces somebody to clarify their sexuality publicly, which not everybody feels comfortable doing or wants to do, no matter what their sexuality is. That was all for Taylor, though, that year, and he is now happily engaged to a girl named Taylor, which is fun. In the next video, we're going to talk about who won the Big Helper Award, and they didn't really have nominees for this, but feel free to guess in the comments. I will tell you that it was somebody who was incredibly popular at the time and still incredibly popular now, and they are within the music industry. At the 2012 Kids' Choice Awards, the Big Helper Award went to Miss Taylor Swift. If you were smart enough to guess that from the last video, which I gave you basically 0 hints on, I applaud you. That's really smart of you. It also may mean that you saw my Harry and Taylor series because I did have a picture of that in there. Anyways, this award is apparently for stars lending a hand to help others in the environment, and she got this award for helping raise money for natural disaster victims by holding a charity concert. Now, from February of 2011 to March 2012, basically the entire year, the entire year, she was doing her Speak Now tour. But this was also the time that supposedly Harry was courting Miss Taylor. This man, recognize him? I just did a Harry and Taylor series, so if you want more information on that, you can go watch that. But yes, according to sources, after the fact, he did initially start trying to talk to her in 2011-2012 area. And this was way before any pictures came out or any information came out about it, because they can hide stuff from us. They absolutely can hide stuff from us. Most of the stuff that we find out, it's because they wanted us to, or somebody else wanted us to. And somebody smartly commented on my Harry and Taylor series saying that they knew exactly the Vanity Fair article that I was referencing that said after the fact that he had been pursuing her since 2011-2012, and that was according to sources. And they said, smartly, that they believed that that good friend who told them that was actually Taylor herself. And that may seem like a stretch to a lot of you, but I promise you, in the entertainment industry, that happens all the time. Most leaks to the press are either them, their publicist, or a good friend of theirs that they told to say it to a publicist or to a media outlet. Like, that is the majority of the leaks to the press. They can keep stuff quiet if they want to. And of course, funny enough, we know that we got the first inklings of a romance at this here 2012 Kids' Choice Awards. But that was not the only spot of romance for Taylor in that year, because obviously, look at her, come on. January 6th of 2012, Taylor was seen on a date with Zac Efron. Or at least people definitely thought it was a date, but apparently it was not. All the sources said they're just friends, they have a movie coming out together, they were doing business stuff, and then they went out to eat together. That's really it. One source did say, though, that Taylor thinks Zac's cute, but they're on totally different wavelengths. But who doesn't think that Zac Efron is cute? That's literally all of us. That's not an indicator of anything. February 12th of 2012, Taylor won 2 Grammys for her song Mean. Absolute best song. The Scorpio Mars really comes through in that one. I also have a Scorpio Mars, so I appreciate it. I love it. It's really just a fave. On February 21st of 2012, Taylor and Zac Efron went on Ellen together to promote their movie. And they were very clear that they were not together and that Zac was actually dating somebody. Although he did not name who it was. We would all like to know, though. I would love to know. If anybody knows who it was, I didn't really research that much into it just because we're focused on Taylor right now. But if you do know, comment. Taylor also said that she taught Zac how to play the guitar in this interview. How adorable, little friends. Of course, Ellen made tons of jokes about them dating and how she knew they were dating. She made them shirts talking about them dating. She couldn't get enough of it. They also did a duet, though. And they made fun of Ellen in it and talked about how uncomfortable she made them, which I honestly just love that for them. On March 1st of 2012, Taylor was seen out to dinner with Tim Tebow. And of course, people assumed that that was a date. But it was pointed out that they do have the same talent agent, so once again, could just be business. Maybe discussing their potential Kids' Choice Awards. They both won this year. I don't know how invested they are in the ceremony, but they might be. March 2nd of 2012, The Lorax was released. Taylor was Audrey and Zac Efron played Ted. That was the movie that they were promoting together. And Danny DeVito also played a role in this movie. I honestly don't remember which one, but this movie brings me to tears. Absolute tears every time. I can't watch it. Can't watch it. No, I can't. I can't, especially not now. Nope. On March 16th of 2012, the Hunger Games album was released. She had 2 songs on it, Eyes Open and of course, Safe and Sound featuring the Civil Wars. My favorite by far. And that is the end of our series. That was a shorter series, but I really enjoyed it. Did y'all like it? I would love to know. Did you hate it? If you hate it, we'll never do it again. Never. We'll never do it again. We'll drown it in the river with Joustin' Beaver. If you did like it though, we can start doing them from time to time. I mean, I'm not going to put them out back to back unless you're like desperate for them. But this is kind of like a nice deviation from the norm. And maybe we'll do something bigger for the next week. So let me know what y'all are interested in. Here's our sources. Dun, dun, dun. Sources. I work hard on these. Oh, congrats to Lexi for being featured, LOL. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment any additions you might have or any thoughts or opinions. I'd love to hear them, as well as any series suggestions or new video suggestions in general. And if you want to see more of me and more of my series, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week with another one.